if you'd like. That would be Blažen muž chvalitia Jmo. And then we can go through some of the American songs that need some attention. And then, Ray, we can go to some Georgian music.
Okay.
Louis would like to save the Armenian review for next week. Does that seem okay? Like a plan? I mean, Blažen muž chvalitia Jmo, we could skip, or, I think we have time to make use of that time.
I'd vote to skip the Russian repertoire until the end to make sure we
Okay.
get through everything else.
Okay, so I thought for part review, the three Americans, for quantitative work, they can't take that away from me. Steal Away to Jesus, and How Can I Keep from Singing? The other American songs, it's more qualitative work, I hope. And maybe that also will put behind some of the Georgian review. So let's do They Can't Take That Away from Me, Steal Away to Jesus, How Can I Keep from Singing? And I figured out the settings so my piano can be heard continuously. There may still be some echo issues when you guys speak, when my microphone's open. So again, you'll all mute while I'm playing, and then we'll hope for the best when taking questions. So here's the Gershwin. And let's do the first phrase, and we'll go maybe from 9 to 25, measures 9 to 25, breaking it down a little bit. So I'm going to ask you all to mute. I think I've got the right glasses on. So this is bass and baritone. The way you wear your hat, the way you sip your tea, the memory of basses are there, the way you sing off key. Basses are there, down an octave. So basses can't take that away from me. And now second tenors from measure 9. The way you wear your hat, the way you sip your tea, the memory of all that. No, they can't take that away from me. The way you smile beams, the way you sing of me, the way you haunt my dreams. No, they can't take that away from me. Off. So fun part, especially in the middle of page 4 there. First, you have the tune, so I'm going to play it with the seconds. Measure 9. The way you wear your short, the way you sip your long, the memory of all that. Away from me, the way you smile. So all four parts, and you see, where is it that the baritones go above? No, it doesn't. Well, the baritones go above the seconds in measure 21 and 2. The way you haunt my dreams, and seconds, the way you haunt my dreams. The syncopated resolution, bass, baritone, seconds, verse 21, slowly is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Mark, you gotta mute, buddy.
Oh shit.
Not shit, shoot, or mute. Not a problem. Good to have you. Anyway, here's measure 9, everybody. So bar before. The way you wear your hat, the way you sip your whole, the memory of tricky. So it starts off same voicing as before, measure 37, but then it changes. Basses, the way you change my life, 2, 3, 4, 1. No, they can't take that away from me. And then this, you back off a little bit. It's not written, but it's kind of elegant. No, they can't take that away from. And back to that same measure 37, middle of page 6. Baritones, you start the same voicing. The way you change my life instead of life. The way you change my life. 2, 3, 4, 1. No, no, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away from melody me. And you have to cut off pretty much yourselves because I'm gonna be playing the clarinet there. And it's nice, top of 7, those first measures, you kind of walk this a little bit. Those steady quarters, it's got that groove, and Eric's got and then we take over. That's a dance break. If you guys want to pair off and do a little dance. So back to measure 37, and again, seconds. You have not done. Is this the place where you had the? Yeah, I think this is the place where you had the suspension. So you don't have the suspension because we're turning a different harmonic corner. So you stay on the B flat. The way you changed my life, and you guys tenors, you're underneath the baritone. The way you changed my life. 2, 3, 4, 1. No, no, they can't take that away from me. No, they could have given you in measure 42 a courtesy accidental for the D natural. Nice high whole step. So the three lower parts at The Way You Changed My Life, measure 37, bass baritone second is The Way You Changed My Life. And then first, it's measure 37, the way you changed my life. Nobody can take that away from me. Nobody can take that away from me. Not the melody, just the little descant part. So everybody from 37, bass baritone seconds first is 1. Off. And I may be wrong, that measure 41, the last measure is 6. Maybe we don't come back too much on the no, they can't. But it's nice. And seconds, I usually play your note up the octave on the clarinet just because it's such a cool note. Because the melody note's in the baritone, but it's the crunch is against your suspension. Let's do top of 6, the way you hold. And 1, the way you hold your knife. Sorry. So that's just to make sure. I usually play with the tune. The way you hold your knife. And don't be surprised by the unison when the bass baritones go up. The way you hold your knife. And you got to stay on the ah a little bit so you don't diphthong too soon. The way you hold your knife. And I worked with a British conductor from the BBC a couple of summers ago at a workshop, and he said, you know, you Americans, you hate this diphthong. You always wait till the last minute. There's nothing wrong with a diphthong. You can say it like speech. You can do it. You don't have to wait till the very last minute. You can do it a little before. The way you hold your knife. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. So let's go on then. Bass is down the octave. The way we dance to 3. So let's do a half dozen measures here, part by part. So you finish knife, top of 9 bass. The way we dance to 3. The way you changed my life. This should sound familiar. No, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't. nice high E natural from me. Is that somebody trying to get in? No, everybody's in. I think everybody's in. Okay. Good. So then, and then baritones, you go down to the 7th, top of page 9, you're on knife. The way we dance till 3. The way you changed my life, that's the melody. No, no, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away. Off. No, they can't take that away. It's the melody. No, they can't take that away from me. Except you go down. And you probably should go down given the numbers that we have. From me, because we got so many second tenors. But the melody goes up. So that, and notice that unison on the from me, unison octaves. And again, that walks, those steady quarters walk. Measure 69, that's the mezzo forte mark there, that's where it's very cool because of the looping tag that's coming up to pull it back a little bit in dynamic. Very nice to have that happen. Second tenors, top of 9. You're on knife, knife. The way we dance to 3. The way you changed my life. This is the same voicing as before. No, no, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away. Off. No, they can't take that away. No, they can't take that away. It's hard to find a little bit. Can't take that away from me, away from me. And it's easier to find in the voicing. And then first, top of 9, you're on knife, knife. The way we dance to 3, that feels a little melodic. The way you changed my life, you're under the baritones. No, no, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away. No, they can't take that away. No, they can't take that away from me. They can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away. No, no, no. Can't take that away from me. Can't take that away from me. Can't take that a breath. So in 83 tenors, you got to be very nimble. Can't take that away. No, they can't. And then, no, they can't take that away. Connect from me. Bass is not the root. Me. And upbeat to 84 baritones. No, they can't take that away. Connect from me. And the voice leading, you want to go to the A natural, but you don't. Away from me. And seconds, no, they can't take that away from me. The barbershop note. And first, no, they can't take that away. Connect from me. And nobody following the rest. So let's do everybody top of 9. The way we danced. Bass, baritone, both tenors. Let's do from 61. 61. It's eating up a lot of time. That's okay. 3, 4. The way you one time through, and then we got to move on. Okay? The way you wear your hat, the way you sip your tea, they can't take that away from me. All right. Okay to move on to Steal Away?
Number.
Excellent. Excellent. So, this, because it's slow with limited text, this may be chosen by Rustavi, the Georgian ensemble, and the Armenian ensemble as a collaborative piece, which means we're going to have to pretend that we know how it goes. I'm among those who never sang it in concert with any conductor who really knew it. And I'm at a disadvantage, as Glenn and David know, because, and Chris Smart is, I don't know if Chris is on this call, because we do a different version. We do a version by a black arranger, Hall Johnson. Unlike this one by Marshall Bartholomew, a blue blood Yankee Yale guy, which has its own virtues. In any event, I'm trying my best to learn how it goes. But have any of you guys sung it in concert with the YRC? Okay, great, terrific. So we may look to you for how it goes, but. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful spiritual. And the text and the basic rhythmic profile is the same. I always struggle with, from the middle, the B section from measure 9, especially the second verse. With the Apollo Club here in Boston, we've settled on a way of, we do the second verse down the octave and quiet. But that, with this arrangement, that's not really going to work that well. But we definitely take that forte with a grain of salt, although it's awfully high for the first tenors. In any event, depending on who's got the voice, and maybe the female tenors who are in our first tenor section now can give us a little dolce in there. But here we go. And the form, it's A B A B A B A. So we come back. So sort of here we go. If you're all muted, it goes. Somebody may be unmuted, so be careful. So everybody learn this? Could be a section or a semi-chorus. Everybody will breathe. So just a couple of things to note, and I think in the interest of time and making sure we get to Georgian music, I'm not going to go through both verses and everything. A couple things to note in 14, the measure with the fermata, the basses go up the octave. Within my soul, in my soul. The baritones have the G flat. Within my soul. Stem up. Okay? And then there's no new dynamic, but I think I Ain't Got Long to Stay here is definitely quieter, almost piano, and it'll depend on. We'll read the room and the spheres and what's going on, but I'm pretty sure I'll be leading this, and the trumpet sounds will sound a little different each time, depending on whether that's been a solo or section, and how much the sinners are trembling and all of that. But it can be quite, the trumpets can sound quite dramatic, and then I Ain't Got Long to Stay Here can be quite quiet. And everybody notice in the very last measure of the page to wait for the basses. And for some reason, that's not in measure 8. Joe or Glenn, did you guys ever interpolate that? Like the very last time? Did the basses ever sing that?
From time to time it was sung, but really it was only the last, where it is now, on measure 16 or 17.
Yeah, but then the piece ends in the fine bar.
Oh yes, it's always sung there.
You must sing the low E flat again
the low
there.
E flat is sung at the end, for sure.
Okay, yeah. So in the when measure 8 comes as the fine bar basses, you would sing the low E flat again.
Mm-hmm. Steve, if I could say one other thing about how this was always interpreted when I sang with the chorus, that forte at 9 is definitely not supposed to be there. It was always sung very softly and often by a soloist.
Okay.
Who could sing it almost, mezzo voce.
Oh, good.
And then I Ain't Got Long to Stay Here was always sung very soft.
And Joe, how about the bass response? He calls me by the thunder, and poor sinners stand a trembling in measure 11.
What we usually did was the hum came as a forte piano, hum, and then the basses would be a little louder, but not forte.
And they would be the section or also a solo?
It would be the section.
Okay. So I think we should do that then. So we'll do that. Yeah, so we'll do measure 9 will be a dolce mezzo something, mezzo piano, mezzo forte. That's good. So and in terms of what looks so busy in measure 6 and 7 with the 16ths and 13 and 15, don't be in a hurry. As you study it, learn the profile of the 16th notes, but it should be sustained yet flowing, I think.
Could you just sing that? Could someone just sing that? Because I can't get the rhythm offhand.
Yeah, so Mark, measure 6, for example. Steal away, home, steal away.
It's the measure after that. I Ain't Got Long.
I ain't long to stay, long to stay. So again, I don't want it to be too mathematical, but if you think long to so if you were being strict, you would think of the 4/16ths and the next 4/16ths and move after the tied one. Ain't got long to stay. And then it's sort of that subdivision, but unhurried. And bass and baritone moving together. So, without dictating each note, we're going to try to move in that way together. It'll be so much easier when we're all in the same room. Yeah, and measure 13 I think was okay. You know, short, long. The trumpet sounds. And the retard is actually, it's more a tranquilo, more relaxed tempo and feeling than it is slowing down. Okay, very quick, just how can I keep from singing? Just because it was a little scattered.
Steve,
Yes, please.
could you mute yourself just a second?
Yeah.
When one of us other than you is speaking, if you mute yourself, we won't get the echo. You might have missed in the chat that Richard asked if there'd be time to work on Poor Man Lazarus. I just wanted to point it out. Thanks.
Okay, I assume, Richard, you want the fugue at the end.
Yes, if there's time, and I don't want to take time away from anything else. You have a set agenda.
Well, the reason I want to get to George and stuff is Ray's got a conflict next week. But we still have all of April and some of May, so. And then there's that 3-hour rehearsal before the banquet in Tbilisi. Oh, we just scared somebody away. Come back. So how can I keep from singing? First of all, we'll need a backup trio as terrific as Ray, David, and Glenn are. You never know when somebody's going to get a bad allergy attack or something, or I guess there's no KGB anymore. The FSB, I don't know if they'll infiltrate Georgia and Armenia. Anyway. So people, feel free to, take a look at the trio parts from A to C. But here's letter C. Basses, remember that this is you sing. Everybody sings. Everything is you sing melodically, but basses, be aware that it's a harmony part. What though the tempest loudly roars, hear the truth it liveth. What though the darkness round me closed, breath, songs in the night it giveth. And then we're going to crescendo into the rest. And then baritones have the tune. What though the tempest loudly roars, I hear the truth it liveth. And then you're silent. 3, 1, 2. Songs in the night it giveth. And the songs isn't really accented. Songs in the night. It's sort of a joyous chime. Songs in the night it giveth. It's to give you more air to rejoin and have room for that tessitura and the crescendo. And then tenors, remember yours is a descant. What though the tempest loudly roars? You know what? Let's all breathe after roars. What the heck? A nice light connecting breath. What though the tempest loudly roars, I hear the truth. And you can just ease into head voice. It liveth. What though the... And stay light, tenors. The darkness round me closed. And definitely breathe there. so that the baritones come through without having to accent. Songs in the night it giveth, with that crescendo. So let's just do letter C, just that far, and we'll stop. Let's see if I can play this. 1, 2, and 3. And now here, the crucial thing is not to breathe after calm and to let the diminuendo and the change of character happen there. So hold off on putting the M on calm as long as you can. Basses, low voice. No storm can shake my inmost calm while to that rock clinging. Super legato into 29. Again, 2, and no storm can shake. So don't stop the sound on shake. So it's almost shake can. Elide the K and the C. No storm can shake my inmost calm while. One more time. No storm can shake my inmost calm while to that rock I'm clinging. And then baritones. No storm can shake my inmost calm to that rock I'm clinging. So those two parts. No storm can shake my inmost calm while to that rock I'm clinging. And then tenors. No storm can shake my inmost calm while to that rock I'm clinging. So that's a version of the melody, and that storm can shake my, and you're allowed to press shake my, and get the K right up against the M on my. So tenors again, 2, and no storm can shake my inmost calm rock I'm clinging. And I have almost no breath, especially with this cold, so you may have to sneak in order not to breathe on calm. Here's everybody. No storm, no storm, no storm. 2, and no storm. And then the soloist, and it was Ray beautifully, and the others. Love is Lord of heaven and earth. It's a little bit free. How can I keep from singing? And there's not only the fermata on the last note, there's railroad tracks, which I should have put in, and a fermata on the railroad tracks. And then, since love is Lord, slowing down and diminuendoing, should have put both of those in. So bass baritone, you're all together. Since love is Lord of heaven and earth. How can I keep sustain, spin the sound, sustain from plenty of basses on the low G. And baritones very light to the nice high B natural. And second tenors, love is Lord from heaven. Nice high there. Since love is Lord unison. And everybody keeps the sound super sustained. And you wait for Eric for the little aura. So, yeah, that's how that goes. Good. We can do the Lazarus fugue, and then we can do Lile or Odoia, or maybe both if we can go to 5:15. So, Lazarus, Poor Man Lazarus, from his blue period. So this is a fun one. If you learn the words, especially the words to the chorus, even the words to the whole thing, it's fun. It's fun to toss off. And while you're getting it out, I just remind you, I love to shout. I love, not I love. I love poor man Lazarus, sick rich man Dives. So there's always that break between Lazarus and Dives, and then I love to shout, short, I love, simple upbeat, not I, don't interpolate. But anyway, we go to the coda, which starts on page 5. Bass, baritones in first. We'll go a little under. Would that be useful? Richard gives thumbs up. So still in 2, about, everybody have it? Coda, page 5? About 1 and 2. I'm tormented in the flame. I'm tormented in the flame. Seconds, dip your finger in the berry. Dip your finger in the water. Dip your finger in the water. Dip your finger in the water. Come in, cool my tongue. Come in, cool my tongue. Dip your finger in the water. Come in, cool my tongue. 'Cause I'm tormented in the flame. Dip your finger in the water. Come in, cool my tongue. 'Cause I'm Did I skip a page, or did I get it? Did I get it right? I think I got it right. Want to get into it one time? Do the third verse. I love to shout. So this is upbeat to the third verse. So that's that quarter note upbeat. If you're looking at page 5, it's harder to follow with the music than to just forget goddamn music. Page 5, top, second measure. Little number 3, I. This is unison and goes back to page 2. Here we go. 1 and I love to shout. I love to sing. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, 'cause I'm tormented in the flame. I love to praise my heavenly King. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, 'cause I'm tormented in the coda. Sorry, page 4, tormented in the flame. I'm tormented, it was coda. Dip your finger in the water, 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 come and cool my tongue, come and cool my tongue, dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, 'cause I'm tormented in the flame. Dip your finger in the water, come and cool my tongue, I'm tormented in the flame. And everybody up, basses, baritones, all up. It's that kind of piece. No low, no octavisti. Great, Joe, you okay? Yeah. Very good. Okay, Ray, I'm gonna mute. Ray, you tell us what you want to do, and then I can come back on.
Okay, actually, Yeah, if we can look at Lile, and let's see this group. Yeah, most of you were there. So let's see if we can do Lile. Let's see. Do we have? Can we do choir 1 and choir 2? Let's see. Ernie, you were choir 1, right? And Glenn was choir 1. Oh, just put up your hand if you want to be choir 1. Okay, that looks good. And then choir 2. Okay, so if you didn't put up your hand, you take your pick, and just be one or the other. So is anybody still unclear on the overlap in 14? Well, I guess it's 13 and 14. John Mark, because you weren't there, right?
Yes, I was going to say.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Why don't you be choir 1, John Mark?
Okay.
And so again, so everybody mute yourselves. And Steve, yeah, let's not have the piano for this. Let's just see how it goes one time. So I will sing, and I'll sing the lead in, and I will sing bass or bunny. Or let's see. No, you know what? Can somebody else who's singing middle in choir 2? Oh, nobody's singing middle. Okay, Joe, can you sing that ye in 13? That is the note that comes in before before the rest of the choir 2 comes in 14. Yeah,
Sure.
Joe. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
but I'll be muted.
Well, unmute yourself just when we get there.
Okay.
And otherwise, I'll sing the call in at the beginning, and then I'm gonna sing Bonnie. Okay. Walile isgwami dindabiwo rilgwaya shileda Wodi wo lile wodi wo lile da wokrashi samgali wo Tagle Yazelsida Wodi Wolile Wodi Wolile da Nished sa gushkweya Wodi wolile oh. Now, I don't know. Could you guys hear me? That was okay. That was okay that time. All right. Okay, so I must have had the right sound setting on. So I guess so. That was not very helpful for the crossover for the changeover because I just kept singing the whole time. But I think all that happens is like in 13, if you're choir 1, if you go Shile da. So if you come in at 9, Shile da wo di wo Lile wo, and then you're out. And that wo is when choir 2 comes in. So the middle voice in choir 2 will sing that ye wo, and actually, I should say this might help people is that actually when I think about how we actually do it, you see that there may be a pause on that ye really is kind of 2 beats. So that ye is sort of 2 beats. So it comes in on the 3rd beat, but there is a sustain on it, and it really is kind of more or less 2 beats, and then everybody knows to come in on that next beat. That is then we come in on the downbeat. So it's like Lile wo di wo Lile da. So I don't know if that helps, but
I think it helps if we know to focus on who's going to be Mr. Yi, and we watch their head move when they're moving into the wool.
Good point. So I mean, we're going to be a fairly large group, so it won't necessarily be that easy to see. I mean, I usually sort of like not to wave my hand, but maybe I will. I'll be at the end. I'll be at one end or the other, and maybe I'll kind of go ye wo, something like that. Maybe I'll do that. Yes, John Mark.
On the switch over between the choruses, is that woe on 14 sung by both choruses or just by the first?
The first beat of that measure, or I guess sort of, the first beat of that measure is the overlap.
Okay.
So the only thing that departure from that is that in the middle voice, that ye comes in 13. But that ye that comes in 13 is really the beginning of choir 2.
And similarly, at the changeover there at 28.
Exactly. It's
on the
exactly
woe,
the
again,
same.
it's repeated.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't, if you're looking at a printed out score, there is a new one. You don't necessarily have to print it out, but the change is that in 14, where there used to be 2 dotted quarters, I'm just making it a quarter and a half in 14, and then a half and a quarter in 15. So it goes ye wo di wo Lile da. Right. So
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
if it's been confusing before, then maybe it's worthwhile printing out the new version, because I think it is simpler and a little bit clearer.
Hey, guys, question on measure that Lile you just did, 14,
Yes.
15, on 16. Is that for a second tenor? Is that a C sharp, or is that like a semitone indication?
Oh, you're looking at the most recent version, right?
Yeah. I mean, is that a misprinted sharp, or is that semitone that they've been using?
It's a quarter tone.
Yeah.
So it's in between a C natural and a C sharp.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's not actually exactly a quarter tone. Yeah,
If
I would.
if you listen, it to our ears it sounds closer to a C natural, frankly. Just like the backwards flat, which is also a microtone, a quarter tone, to our ears sounds more like a flat than a natural. If you listen to the MIDI file, it's right in between, but it sounds, to us it sounds more minor than major, but it's sort of Pythagorean. Anyway, Ray, you can try to explain it if you want.
No, I think I got that. Where do you
Yeah,
guys?
anyway, it's the point. All I want to say is it's not exactly a quarter tone, right? It's between the two, and I would say that often, like, well, you might know this, Mark, that if you look at somebody who's done a transcription, sometimes you'll see something and it's written as a sharp, and sometimes it'll be written as a natural. And what that often means is it's the same note both times. It just sounds different because of which direction you're coming. So that's kind of where we are. And whether it's a little bit higher than a quarter tone or a little bit lower than a quarter tone kind of depends on where it is in the scale. Because like they don't have leading tones. So if you have a seventh that looks like, that the way it's written on our sheet, it looks like a leading tone. It's not a leading tone. It's definitely got to be lower than that, right? It's not a kind of a Western seventh. So just because we know they really don't have leading tones. And then similarly, when you're coming down to the tonic, the second is probably a little narrower than our second, and then the third is usually something in between a major and a minor.
Question: where do you guys want to plug me in? Should I be first tenor or second tenor on most of this stuff? I used to sing second tenor.
Did you always sing middle?
In Cartoon Ensemble, I was either first or second. Second's easier, but if you need first, this Swan music isn't that high.
No, well, none of the Georgian stuff is that high.
No. So, I guess
so,
I'll
yeah, what I've been trying to do is probably sing middle. But what I've been saying to a lot of people who normally sing middle is everybody should learn the bass part. Everybody should learn Bani, because we have a whole slew of middle voices, and that just won't sound right, even in a chorus. That sort of traditionally there, even if they have like 15 people, they'll have one person sing the top, one person sing the middle, and everybody else sings the bottom. So I don't want to have 6 people on top and 6 people in the middle. I'd sort of like to keep it to maybe 3 on top and 3 in the middle, maybe 4 on top, 4 in the middle if we have to. But it just should be way more bass sound, so that the middle guy and the top guy can kind of let her rip, and not be kind of worried about a choral sound, right? So it's okay on the liturgical stuff, but for something like Lile, yeah, I mean it should have kind of a raw sound. Mark, do you know Lile from before?
Yeah, ours was a little different, but I was just
right,
singing
of course.
the first tenor. It all made sense. So it's Swan music.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if I answered your question, but you can probably sing Bani too.
Are there a couple of days rehearsal at the beginning of this tour?
There's one afternoon rehearsal before
three hours
and
the
then there's
first
a
day.
long bus ride the next day. like a 6-hour bus ride the next day. So, and
there's also a lot of us who have a long layover at Charles de Gaulle Airport, and we're thinking of singing in the departure lounge there.
All right. Okay, sorry, that was too much time on Lile. I just want
Ray,
to kind of
Ray,
go over it.
I know you don't like the piano, but would it be useful? It's so short. Would it be useful for me to play the 3 parts together one time for people to just hear it that way?
Does any who wants to hear that? Do people want to hear that? A couple of people would. So yeah, okay, go ahead. Steve, yeah.
It wasn't that many. We don't need to do it if you don't want to.
No, I don't mind. If it's helpful to anybody.
Okay. You were down a step. I'm gonna do it where it's written, just because I don't want to fuck up the transposition.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, the only thing I would say is just like 13. It's in the middle voice 13. That B flat is closer to a B natural. Yeah, in 13, and then the same in 28. It's also closer to a B natural, and then at the very end, 39, 40, 41, 42, in 43, it's also closer to a B natural. Okay, so think of it as a low B natural as opposed to a high B flat. That's just what I felt from listening to the piano. So, okay. Do we have time? Do people want to stick around for another 10 minutes? Yeah. Okay. So let's look at Odoia. So we were able to do. Oh, sorry. Just back to Lile. So again, please, what I would say is listen to the recording that we have online. That's called Lessons with Islam. Because it's Islam and some Canadians, so it's not real Georgian, not real Svan, but listen to him because he definitely pushes it sharp and I think we're doing a pretty good job of tuning with him. So I would say try and sing along with that recording. And I think that'll really help if you have that in your head. It's not like Swan, it's not like real Swans, but I don't have a recording of real Swans singing this exact version. So, okay. So then Odoia, we did some very good work on, kind of, we started at the back end. And again, so Odoia, it's a work song, right? So the point of the song is really just to have everybody working in the same rhythm, and hopefully speeding up the rhythm so the work gets done a little bit faster. So can we go from oh, geez. I'm not looking at the right version here. Sorry. Can we go from E, where it's tutti? So it's and actually, Steve, this I think this is where the piano is going to be useful.
Yeah, and Ray, I just realized I made a bunch of notes from DC, and I never went in, I never redid the file, so I haven't.
Okay.
There's a lot of corrections I have in pencil that I never made.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but yeah, E is.
Okay, so
Oh, wait.
actually one correction everybody should make is that in the measure before E, so 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, right, we have hey, da. That should be, the hey should be a half note, and E, da should each be quarter notes. So it's just in, in the tempo that we've got. So it goes hey, da, do. So it's there.
And the tutti starts there. From the middle voice, the tutti starts that measure before E.
Yes, right. Okay, so that's everybody. So why don't we go from there? So again, can we? Who's choir 1 and choir 2?
I think with this small group, maybe everybody just learn everything.
Yeah. Okay, everybody can just keep singing the whole time. Well, yeah, we'll break that up at some point. Yeah. Can you give us the C?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is middle voice. Does anybody want to do this in separate parts? Especially people who are John Mark, would it be helpful to do the bass? Sorry, we couldn't hear what you said.
I was muted. I'm saying this is all entirely new. I'm just pulling up the new version here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But Ray, I think if we do this under tempo, he could probably grab it.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Okay. So let's go. Is that still the C? Hey.
Yeah.
Okay. So from so everybody, just singing your own part. And I guess
do you want me to mute, or do you want me to play and you mute, or because we're asynchronous?
Right. I'll mute.
Okay.
You play.
So a little under tempo from bar before E. Hey, da. Sorry. Sorry. Coro 2 at G is so bar before G. I guess that's right. And then second of G. This is hard to break out. Yeah, sorry. Maybe I will do bass alone.
I remember that G in choir 2 should be at measure 54. It's just one measure out of place.
Yeah, that's my memory too.
Say that again.
G and Coro 2 should be at measure 54. It's one measure too soon.
Ah,
Yeah, so choir 2 starts at 54.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to 44, 42 again. So, hey, can you give me, yeah.
So maybe we'll do just the bass for a little bit then. So or just the two tenor parts maybe. Hey, do. Sorry. That gets us to H. So the Bonnie, after the tutti at bar before E, after the tutti does hey, da. O, re, ra, vo, o, re, ra, vo, o, re, ra, vo, o, o, o. That gets us to H. I wonder, the bar of G, Ray, I'm going to check your score. I wonder if that's a slip of the cursor in the middle tenor part. If those pitches are right, or if they're off by a step.
I have a question about the bass part as well, which is, I thought that a little bit lower, a half step lower in 60, in E flat.
All the way through?
Yeah, what do you?
It's closer to an E natural.
Oh yeah, we had this discussion already.
It's closer to an E natural there. But where it is later on in the
68, measure 68, it's closer to an E flat.
Yes. Okay, but the one thing that I do want to note is that if we skip ahead to J, so 76, 78, or actually 79, choir 2, Bon Ebi, you go, Odoia, do. It should be much closer to an E flat. So it's not, it's Odoia, do, not E natural. I mean, it's not truly an E flat either, but it's way closer to an E flat than an E natural. So that's for basses in choir 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just do that again. Let's just go from, measure before E, and then just keep going with just the bass. Just the bass. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then continue on to H?
Continue on to H, yeah.
Okay. So bar before E, and then I'll do just the bass, the Bonnie.
Yeah,
So
and what I might do is I might just jump in and sort of make some comments while we're going.
Okay.
If that, yeah.
So bar before E is hey, do, o, do, E. Sorry.
No?
Yeah, sorry. Hey, do, o, do, E, o, re, do, vo, o, re, do, vo, o, do, E, o, then choir one, then back in choral two, do re do re do then letter I. Letter I again, this time. Coro two.
Okay, can we stop there?
Yeah.
So that was great. Just one thing, it's hard, to do it on the piano, but the bass part, actually all three parts should be very sustained. So, if we go by hey da o do ya o di da vo di da vo di da vo do ya do ya do ya o wa he wa ya do ya do do ya o. So it's like you're just going oh with these little bits of punctuation in there. So ordinavo do 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 wo ri wo de li wo di la wo do i a o wo ri wo de li wo di la wo do i a o ho do do ho do do ya 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 do ho do, and then it just speeds up from there. So one thing that I did say while we were there is don't count the measures once we get here. Right. And you don't need any music, right? Because it doesn't change. It just goes, ho, do, do. If you're choir one, it just goes, ho, do, do, ho, do, do, ho, do, do, ho, do. That's all that happens in choir one. And choir two just goes, do, do, ho, do, do, ho, do, do, ho. So the only thing that's important is that little, that eighth note overlap has to sound percussive. It has to sound like a boom, like something's hitting the desk. So Odoia, 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 Odoia. That's so that it just sounds like it's going boom, 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 boom. That's what the bass sound has to create. And then the top voices are, you know, kind of doing their thing, but it's a very you know, it's like you're just going, it's just like you're saying heave ho, right? That's really all that's happening here. And it's just that, you know, like all of these work songs, they all have this kind of, you know, the last section just speeds up and speeds up and speeds up and speeds up, and you know, you don't know when it's going to end. And so again, you know, I'll just signal when it's the end, and you won't get much notice, right? We'll be going Odoia, 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 ho, and that's kind of how it'll be. And then you know, the top and the middle are just sort of along for the ride there. The basses are running the bus here, driving the bus, or driving the tractor. Yeah, so you know, I hope that's kind of helpful. And then, you know, what comes before that is you know, we'll have a little bit of time to work on that. I think on the day we get there, I'm hoping we can carve out a little bit of time for Odoia. And then I would really, I know we're supposed to work on High Barbary on the bus, but I would really also like to work on Odoia on the bus. Because I think it just takes a few times through, and it'll be you know, because the music is not that hard, right?
Yeah, well, no, Odoia is a priority because Odoia is a concert piece. I mean,
Right.
I mean, I know it's a work song, but it's a piece we're presenting in concert.
Exactly.
And High Barbary is a piece for receptions and parties. So it's
Okay.
definitely a priority.
And then actually, you know, in Tbilisi, I mean, we're going to Yerevan first, but when we come back to Tbilisi, we're going to sing. We're going to be on the program with Rustavi, right? And
Yeah.
and so one of the models that we're using for this rendition is their version. So now none of these guys are on that old recording. But you can bet they've heard it a million times. So now again, we're not doing exactly their version, so it's not like we're trying to duplicate what they did. But it's all, this is all the feeling in the spirit is all this is. So the notes are cool, but the most important thing is you know, we got to feel like we're a bunch of guys out there trying to get work done. And yeah, again, it's easy. It's kind of easy if you heard them and sang along with them. If you stood next to them while they sang it 10 times, you'd know it.
Yeah.
Right. So listen to those recordings, and again, you know, they're not exactly the same as this, but they're close enough. And actually, I've got I'm going to put up another recording that's even closer to this version. So anyway, thanks guys. Sorry, we're even over the 5:15.
Big help, Ray. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Okay, guys, I'm going to
Great.
end the meeting. Okay. See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay.